Hey, Mike.
Hey, Matt. So I understand there's a new product going to be hitting the shelves sometime within the next few months called the ABCs of oil and gas. And I have to say, I had a recent kind of sneak peek at it, and I'm pretty excited about this. As many of our listeners know, I'm not really considered an oil and gas aficionado. But this book kind of makes it simple. So, I mean,
Huh?
kids, teenagers, or even adults like me that are ignorant can learn a little bit more about that. Have you heard about this book?
I have, Mike. Thanks for bringing it up. So,
Yeah, I remember us talking about this a few months ago on one of our walks, and you talked about how you were thinking about writing this ABCs of oil and gas, and you've got, it looks like at least a really strong two or three drafts in of, I'm sure it's pretty close to production, and I'm pretty excited about that. Do you have a release date in mind yet?
not yet. So we're recording this on 4/25, and we'll see when this releases. But it's pretty close. So all the artwork's done, all the text is done, except for a few corrections, and the cover art is almost done. So I mean, it's pretty close to pushing it. And just a little detail. Um, I was I'm writing another book for adults, and I I was looking for books to kind of like uh, share with my older son who's 2.5, a little bit about the industries that I work in, and it just kind of like came to me. Let's make a children's book on oil and gas. That's kind of a introductory one for young kids, and maybe there will be some other stuff in the future to follow along with it too. But you know how some sudden inspirations work. Sometimes you
Hmm.
just kind of sit down and get to work. It's gone pretty quickly, and I'm you know using my computer art skills too, which is really fun.
Yeah,
And yeah, it's almost done. So thanks for being a draft reviewer too. I appreciate it.
absolutely. And I can say that this was not something Matt was planning to talk about. We will talk about all the other fun stuff in a minute, but I do want you to know it should be out by the holiday season. We just don't know which holiday season. It might be Memorial Day, 4th of July, Labor Day, or Christmas. Somewhere, one of those holiday seasons, this should be ready for.
Yeah,
And you definitely
totally.
should buy hundreds of copies and give them out to all your friends and their kids so that way they won't be energy ignorant, oil and gas ignorant like I am, and needing to read a book for a 2.5-year-old to be able to catch up for the next podcast.
Well, like the 2.5 year old, it's just kind of like a primer, introduce it to him. But really, like it's kind of, like it's, I would say, more for the adult than it is for the kid in a way. Uh, like a lot of children's books are, to have a ability to have a moment to share with your children or grandchildren or nieces and nephews about what you do for a living, with some cool fun pictures for kids, and then simple and more complex definitions on each page. So it's
I'm
a
gonna I'm gonna give
conversation starter.
I'm gonna give him a sneak peek. I'm sorry, Matt. So I'm not gonna do all the letters, but since I'm Mike McVeigh, I'm gonna have M, and M is for midstream. And there's two little things that are going on here. There's this really cool picture graphic of showing what's going on, and then there's bigger text, which I'm sure that's more for the children. So you can go, the midstream sector transports produced oil and gas to the downstream sector that refines and distributes to end customers. And then a little bit smaller text, there's some red text, and this is where I have to read this one 2 or 3 times to catch it. But networks like pipelines and trucks transport and move produced oil and gas from the wells where it is produced to other locations. These pipelines and trucks commingle. You know what? I'm not going to finish that because I don't want anybody to steal this before you publish it. But that's just an example of this brilliant book that Matt has written. And again, buy hundreds of copies when it comes out. It doesn't matter if it's $1 or $1,000,000. You just should buy them all. I don't get any profit yet, so I'm working on that right now.
Yeah, affiliate fee.
But it is unless the name changes, it's going to be called The ABCs of Oil and Gas by Matthew Jensen, our wonderful host of the New Next. So be sure to keep an eye out on the internet for it.
Yeah, it'll be fun to sell it. So like I'm not totally sure. Obviously you've self-published before, and that's kind of the route I decided to go on too, just because it's quick, easy, and then it gives you the opportunity to kind of like sell it right away. So
Yeah.
So any advice for me, Mike?
Don't give away as many copies as I did. Though I think mine was more of a memoir, self-reflection kind of thing. So I think yours is automatically going to be more helpful to the world at large. And I don't say that jokingly, just very seriously. I really am, as several of you know this, I'm not the most oil and gas friendly person. So that was actually very helpful. I didn't know some of the stuff. It's a little bit beyond some of the things you would learn in elementary science, but definitely brings back some of those words and meanings that, because I took elementary science and I got it passed with a C, I knew what some of those words meant. And as an adult, I put them together. So you should definitely, we don't know, it's April 25th right now when we're recording this, but it should be out before April 24th of 2023. So
yeah, I'm aiming within the next month.